More evidence of the SEC canceling future tough non-conference games. Is this where we are headed in the future of college football? It's time to get our squad together.
You're talking ball with the SEC squad. From Alabama to Tennessee, from Georgia to Oklahoma, from Auburn to Texas, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming SEC weekend. It's the SEC squad, and we have a seat for you. Hurt feelings and thin skins are prohibited. Squad up, you're part of the SEC squad.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome into the SEC squad. Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us as we get you ready for another week talking all things SEC. By the way, you can have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla cake flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5. It's number 5, ourenergy.com or on Amazon. Let's welcome in our squad. We've got Stephen Willis from Locked On Ole Miss, Corey Burton from Locked On Vandy, Jimmy Stein from Locked On Bama, John Miller from Locked On Mizzou. I'm Chris Corey, Locked On SEC. And gents, got a bunch of different topics we want to kick around tonight, but I saw earlier this week we got a report that Texas is looking to cancel a future home-and-home series with Arizona State that is set to start not till like 5 years from now. But we already saw this offseason, Jimmy, Alabama canceled a future series with West Virginia. And I can't help but harken back to that topic I brought up a few weeks ago where the last 3 national champions in the Big Ten, you look at their non-conference games, it's all sloppies. And this rule that the SEC has where you have to play a tough non-con opponent, I think it's going to go out the window sooner rather than later because the playoff committee has shown, don't play anybody. Like if you just go 10-2 or better, we'll put you in. Doesn't matter if you beat good teams. Doesn't matter if you lost to good teams. We just want to see you, or rather, it matters if you lost to good teams, but meaning like they're just looking at win total and that's it. So why make this harder on yourself? What do you guys think?
Yeah, this is go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead.
This is a soapbox issue for me, big time. Even gotten a little Twitter spat with Ari Wasserman, who I do respect quite a bit, recently over this issue because Alabama may be soon canceling an up-and-coming home-and-home with Ohio State. That Ohio State series that Alabama set, not that Ohio State, Alabama reached out, set it. That was before the SEC agreed to go to a 9-game schedule. Alabama's also playing an additional Power 4 opponent in those same years that they had set with Ohio State before the SEC had required Alabama to go to 9 games. And Ari Wasserman writes a hit piece saying Alabama's ducking Ohio State. Are we ducking Ohio State in a year? Now we're playing 11 Power 4 opponents in the same season when that was set years ago. When the playoff committee, as Chris points out, has not made it clear that playing that type of schedule benefits you in any way. They mostly just count losses, similar to a kindergarten class or just count losses. I think it's outrageous. I don't understand why the rest of the world believes the SEC in this marathon has to run uphill while everyone else runs a flat race. Look at this past year with only 8 conference games. Per ESPN's metrics, 8 of the top 10 toughest schedules in the country were played by SEC teams. That was just with 8 conference games. I think it's kind of outrageous what the SEC is sort of doing to themselves, but then requiring the SEC to play games above and beyond what they're required to do in the conference, to me is, again, it's like a race where you're forcing the SEC to run uphill.
One thing is interesting. We live in a society right now that is completely risk averse. Anything that is viewed to be detrimental to what you're trying to do, the ultimate goal of winning a national championship, the playoff, that is going to go by the wayside. You saw that with spring games, with the spring transfer portal, how that went away and it started cascading amongst everybody. Well, it's happening on these Power 4 games now. And honestly, the only solution is, listen, I get the fact, hey, seed it 1 through 16, all of that stuff, that's a perfect world. But you can see how in this risk-averse world, people are going to take advantage of that to make it as easy as humanly possible. we got to take it out of the committee's hands. You got to do automatic berths. The fans can't pay for everything and get games taken away from them as well. Remove it to where non-conference games don't even hurt you at all. It's all in the hands of the conferences assigning the bids, and let's just go play some football and let the fans win for once.
I'll just say it's a bummer as a college football fan, obviously not getting that Alabama-Ohio State game. I think we all agree with that. I also get it from Alabama's perspective. At the same time, I do maybe want to push back a little bit on something. I don't know that the SEC is going to, even with 9 games, I don't know that they're going to look to abandon that power conference game, because quite simply because of those traditional rivals, those out-of-conference rivalry games like South Carolina and Clemson, like Georgia and Georgia Tech, for example. So I think those are probably here to stay. I think if anything, the SEC uses its leverage, its disagreement in the playoff structure with the Big Ten to maybe force the Big Ten's hand a little bit and make their scheduling a little bit harder. At least that's what I'd be thinking if I were Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner.
If there was some leadership at the top of college football that could make something a little bit more uniform as far as scheduling goes and say, okay, you got to play this many P4 games, whether it's 8 conference games and 2 P4 games, or 9 conference games and 1 additional P4 game, and do whatever you want to with the other 2 games, that would be okay with me, because you still get everything that you want, and the Big Ten doesn't have anything over the SEC, or the SEC doesn't have anything over the Big Ten or Big 12 or whatever. I think if you can be more uniform, you eliminate some of this stuff. And what do you guys think about, the possibility of, well, it's not a possibility, but the idea that the conference would set schedules so that there could be a lot more uniformity there as well too?
I kind of like
the last 3 national champions. The last 3 national champions have not played a single Power 4 non-conference team.
Wow!
Not.
Yep.
And there they are.
I made this
Chris
graphic.
lays it out there.
I love showing this. I mean,
that's
Michigan,
the path.
Michigan
path.
3 years ago played ECU, UNLV, Bowling Green. Ohio State played Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall. Indiana played Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. When I bring this up, people, anti-SEC people were like, yeah, but you guys do the same. You just add a 4th tough non-conference or whatever. And it's like, no, there are years where South Carolina opened with, NC State, and then still played Clemson on the back end. I mean, there's years where SEC teams used to play 3 pretty good, non-conference games on top of playing an SEC slate. And so, yeah, I mean, you're going to lose. I think you're going to lose these big fun openers. Look, I think the big motivation factor for a lot of those SEC teams was paycheck, right? To go play Clemson in Dallas on a neutral field is a big payday. Well, now we're going from 8 to 9 SEC games. That's extra revenue there. You don't need that revenue. That revenue is coming from conference play. You don't need that non-conference play anymore.
Yeah, if you want to hear my tenfold theory on this whole thing, is that the Big Ten and the SEC, when they were big buddies, remember back about 5 months ago when they were working together and all of that, it was basically decided that the SEC was going to go to 9. They were going to do the automatic qualifiers and all of that. And all of it had been a nice and clean cut. And then Destin happened. And all the coaches are like, oh, don't do that, and got the whole fan base and all of their boosters against what was going on. The SEC downshifted, and as a result of it, they kind of screwed themselves.
I just think it's interesting that what's old is new again. The Bill Snyder and Gary Pinkel scheduling models. It's all back, baby. But I'll just tell you this. I really liked our buddy Chris Marler's suggestion over at Locked On Gamecocks today. He said, hey, if everybody's basically going to a 9-game conference model, let's just have everybody go into basically a 3-game model on the non-conference schedule. 1 Power 4 game, I should say, 1 group of 5 game, and then everybody plays 1 FCS game too. I couldn't really pick a whole lot of nits with that. I think that's better than what we currently have at the very least.
Well, that's that uniform schedule, John.
You'll get pushback from, look at what Indiana played last year, and look at what Indiana's playing this year. North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky. Somebody go make Indiana play somebody.
Wait, they're playing Howard?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my.
The national champions. And again, no one is saying Indiana won the national championship because they played a non-conference schedule.
Yeah,
they deservedly won the national title a year ago.
But
for the Big Ten to rip on how the SEC schedules and to blame Alabama. I know in my instance, to blame Alabama for ducking out of the Ohio State game. It's absurd. Everyone needs to play you can't make it uniform with 135 teams, but you can make it closer than it is now. I think disparity in scheduling is one of the biggest issues in college football, period.
Well, you have that uniformity within the structure of it. Who you play within that structure is up to you. But what Chris Marler said, and it's kind of what I was thinking too. I like it, and I can't pick too many nits with it, like John said. But yeah, it's got to be. I think you've got to get there. And for people to say Alabama, I laugh at that. People saying Alabama's ducking Ohio State when in reality they're not. There's other teams out there also canceling these big time games. So,
well, look at the parity last year in the SEC. It was the first time in a long time we saw top to bottom the worst team could beat the best team, or at least hang with them. Like Mississippi State gave everybody, gave a bunch of teams fits. Vanderbilt got to 10 win. Like we just saw an SEC top to bottom that I think people's outside perspective was, the SEC sucks because, look at Florida sucks. And South Carolina, you still got teams' best shot and in tough road environments. Going to the Swamp sucks even when Florida is not good. You know what I mean? But then I look at Indiana, and I almost look at it and say the Big Ten needs to do a better job of getting better. Iowa, Maryland, what are you doing, Maryland? Michigan State has been a non-factor. Rutgers is worse than
Wisconsin.
When Vandy was terrible. Like Wisconsin, Minnesota. I mean, I need that conference to be better. I need more potential 9-10 win teams in the Big Ten before they're going to keep taking shots at the SEC.
Yeah, and they're going to take their victory lap, and because they've won the last 3 national championships. They've been waiting 20 years for this moment, and so they're going to do it. They're going to pile on Alabama because why? Alabama was a super team, a dynasty. Georgia was a super team, a dynasty. Those teams don't exist anymore, and the Big Ten's kind of celebrating that fact. There's no elite team in college football, and parity kind of starting to reign a little bit.
Yeah, look at South Carolina. What Chris was talking about. South Carolina, not a winning team, not one of the best teams in the SEC. You go play in Columbia, South Carolina, with Dylan Stewart rushing the passer, Lenore Sellers at quarterback, CC as a first-round corner. Every SEC team has dudes that you have to deal with, and 100,000 people in the seats. It's different than all the other leagues in that sense.
And I happen to be wearing blue and white right now. I think we all think Kentucky might be making a run next season too, with a new coach, spending a lot of money, have an impressive transfer portal class on paper. Whether that happens or not, they're trying. There's no doubt about that. Compared to the bottom feeders of the Big Ten, there really is no comparison right now.
Kentucky
everybody used to make fun of Vanderbilt. Now Vanderbilt's winning 10 games a year and finishing in the top 15.
They've got a big time quarterback coming in too.
Yeah.
Let's do
five-star quarterback and dudes all over. They're better at the line of scrimmage. I mean, I don't think the bottom half of the Big Ten or the mid part of the Big Ten wants to go play at Vandy right now.
Yeah, let's do a swap.
Purdue's going to find that out later.
Vandy to the Big Ten, Rutgers will bring you to the SEC, so everybody can beat up on you. They're terrible. When we return, guys, we will pick on the SEC a little bit. Mike Elko becoming one of the highest paid coaches in college football officially this week, as details of his contract are out. Who are the most overpaid coaches in the SEC? SEC Squad, talking more ball next.
I'm Kalia Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. Dawn Staley and South Carolina remain on top of the SEC standings after handing Tennessee their worst defeat in program history with a final score of 93-40. In the 43-point win, South Carolina shot 69% from the field. Tessa Johnson had a perfect shooting night, scoring 24 points, shooting 4 for 4 from the floor, including 2 threes, and made all 4 of her free throws. And UCLA remains undefeated in Big Ten play, topping Michigan 69-66 as Player of the Year contender Lauren Betts put up a double-double, scoring 16 points, collecting 16 rebounds, and adding 5 assists and 3 blocks. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts the same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
Hey, if you guys ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person, our friends at FanDuel are giving you a chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. And here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future bet, and you will automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board, thinking about which NBA team can make a deep run, this is a perfect time to lock it in. You're going to love futures this time of year because whether you're picking a team to win the championship, grab a conference title, it adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And not only can you make your pick for cash, but it could also send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Rolling back here on a Locked On SEC Squad Edition. I want to remind you guys about our Everydayer Club. If you got a favorite Locked On SEC show, whether it's Bama, Mizzou, Vandy, Ole Miss, or even Locked On SEC, you can become an everydayer for just $5 a month or $50 for a year. LockedOnPodcast.com/everydayer to learn more. Gentlemen, Mike Elko getting an extension. Officially, the details coming out this week. He had gotten it this offseason, but moved him up a rank in his tax bracket as he is one of the highest paid coaches in college football, deservedly so. A&M made the college football playoff last year. But I wanted to take a look at the latest updated list of what coaches are making. And I did top 10. I threw in Kalen DeBoer because he's technically 11th on this list. But when you look at this highest paid college football coaches list, what stands out to you, fellas?
If I say this, they're going to pounce. But it's obvious that Lane stands out because he's never gone to the playoffs. I mean, he's making Kirby Smart money, and he's never made the playoffs. So that's what stands out to me.
He just
damn it, Paul. Lane Kiffin ain't won nothing.
Yeah,
Paul.
So, now he won some games. He's a very, very good football coach, but his record against top 10 opponents is not particularly great, but he managed to get $13 million a year. So I guess that's credit to him, but that's the name that stands out to me.
Kurt Cignetti should have gotten more of a bump. I guess he wasn't getting paid much, and then he got another little bump, but I feel like he should be.
I want to dunk on Dabo Swinney. He is a national champion, though, so maybe not that much. I hate to say it. Boy, Eli Drinkwitz. That's why I giggled a little bit. I got to be honest. I was like, ooh, this isn't going to go well for me in this segment, is it? 9th on the list? No. Hey, I like Eli. That's pretty high. He's got some expectations coming his way the next couple years, too.
He's got a great agent.
To me,
he
Lane
sure does. You know what? He's not even with Sexton anymore. I heard he changed agents too, so I guess that guy knows what he's doing too. Maybe that's why he changed agents. Knew he was getting a contract signing coming. I have no idea.
Signed Ari Gold as his agent, so that's good.
Yeah. To me, Lane, Lincoln, and Eli are Lane. Hey, look, at LSU, Les Miles won a national championship. Ed Ogeron won a national championship. I think Lane Kiffin is a significant better coach than both of those guys. So, I do think Lane will do really well at LSU. But for him to be the second highest paid coach in the sport, and he hasn't even, I believe, ever won a conference that he's coached is sort of crazy. But at the same time, Lincoln Riley at USC, what's their return on investment? And Eli, who I do like, and I do think he's a really good football coach, and he doesn't exactly draw the card that they do at Georgia, LSU, or Alabama. Sure. But for him to be the 9th highest paid coach in the sport seems a bit of a reach to me. But Lane, Lincoln, and Eli seem a little overpaid for discussing this subject.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley.
Let's put
have
Dan
a defense
Lanning in
one
this
time.
Too.
Yeah, Dan
Lanning. You think
Dan
so?
Lanning's a little bit overpaid as well because he's kind of got the big game lane, the James Franklin thing going.
I don't know, 10th highest in the nation. I'll take Dan Lanning for that. That's actually a pretty decent value, in my opinion. I'll disagree with you there.
And Eli making more than Dan Lanning is like, well, I mean, of course, different leagues too.
Yeah, I wish we had that Nike campus, but what are you going to do?
Something that jumps out to me too, guys, is what if, and I'm just putting this hypothetically out there. Don't get mad, Texas fans. But what if Texas goes 9-3 this year, and this is the playoff again? The storyline may become: did Sark waste the Arch Manning error at Texas? You know what I mean? Like that could very well be a headline.
Oh, they're going to pounce on you, Gordy.
and
right after you finish with Steve.
Lincoln Riley at USC. And think about if Ohio State had not won the national championship that year, what would we be saying about Ryan Day right now?
We'd be talking about Ohio State's new coach, who replaced Ryan Day if that hadn't happened.
Right.
Well, nothing against Mike Elko too, but I don't understand when a coach signs a deal with a school and it's a 5-year deal, and he has a great year 2, why we have to immediately run and up his deal? Why can't we just go, he's earning this contract? Why do we have to immediately go raise time?
Right.
And then what happens next year when A&M goes 7-5? Suddenly we go, well, man, that's a waste of money.
Yeah, you end up in a Jimbo type situation, which they've done recently. And interesting enough, Jimmy talked about Kalen DeBoer kind of being on a hot seat depending on how this year goes. I mean, him coming in at number 11, he mentioned the money buyouts and all that going on. It could force some weird questions as well.
There's only 3 coaches on this list that have won national titles: Kirby, Ryan, and Dabo. And everyone else has not done that. Hey, Kurt. Yeah. It's easy to forget. That just happened weeks ago. So 4.
I'll say this, this list is a little bit like the sort of the NFL quarterback market. If we pulled up the top 10 top paid NFL quarterbacks, I think you'd see Mahomes maybe 9th or 10th, something like that. Right. The point is, some of this is based on timing, who got the extension most recently. It's not exactly a perfect, fantasy auction draft or something like that. So there's a lot of variation here.
Yeah, I believe Dak Prescott is technically the highest paid.
I think so. I think that's
NFL
right.
quarterback. So,
yikes.
And
we need some locked on Sooners, guys.
He's great.
5, yeah.
Dak's great, but number 1, yikes.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to kind of take a look at that because now, like I said, Mike Elko moves up to 6 on this list. But keep in mind, last offseason, Brian Kelly was on this list. So, it's funny, who is on the hot seat? We mentioned Kalen DeBoer. I think, look, if Dabo doesn't turn around at Clemson, I don't know if they're going to fire him, but they're going to be trying to run his ass out of there if Clemson doesn't get back on track next year. So there are some guys, just because you're 10 highest paid, and Lincoln Riley's going to live on the hot seat,
For sure.
Good grief.
Well, he just hired Gary Patterson, so.
Oh, Coach Patterson. Love Coach
Former
Patterson.
Locked on guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stole him from us.
Yeah.
He's the only head coach that's in my phone.
Probably a bigger prove-it year for Lincoln Riley than anybody on that list, frankly.
I would agree.
Signed the number 1 recruiting class, but you going to play a bunch of 18-year-olds?
Nope.
Didn't he 60 freshmen or something like that? Some kind of ludicrous number of people recruited?
Really?
Oh yeah. Before signing day, they had 40 kids. I mean, I don't know how many they finished with, but it was insane. When we return, guys, do want to get to talk a little hoops before we get out of here. And I'm going to put you guys on the spot. I want you to give me 2 SEC teams. You got to pick 2, and then I don't know, somebody else will take the field. But you can only pick 2 to ride with. Who are you going to ride with to win it all this year? More squad talking, more ball next. Hey, first, guys, tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, meet with a local TurboTax expert in person or connect online. They're going to handle everything. Give them your W-2s, your self-employment forms. They're going to work to get you every deduction. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver, and it'll give you some real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert did not file for you last year, just file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. Today's episode also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Welcome to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best which one just might be sleepers. The board is set. The flavors are ready. Only one is going to take the top spot. 5 Hour Energy, they have a wide variety of flavors, something for everyone. The energy shots give you a boost with 0 sugar, and 5 Hour Energy has a lot of upcoming flavor innovations planned. Just go check them out on their website, 5hourenergy.com. You can see all the different flavors. And then, like we said, the draft is going on. Draft your flavor. Pick which one is your favorite. And it could be anything from confetti craze to fruity rainbow to cotton candy. Pick which one is your favorite. Find your new favorite flavor of 5 Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com. It's number 5, or on Amazon to figure out your flavor. Check them out. SEC squad rolling along here, and fellas, do want to talk a little SEC hoops real quick. Want to put you on the spot. Give me your 2 men's basketball teams in the SEC that you think right now can win it all this year.
I'll go Florida and Florida.
Okay.
Florida's really good. I mean, obviously they're the defending national champions, and of all the SEC teams I've seen this year in terms of who I would really believe could actually get all the way through the NCAA tournament and all, to me it's Florida. I don't know that Todd Golding gets enough credit for what he's done year to year there, but to me it's Florida. I don't see any other SEC team capable of getting all the way. My Alabama team is good, and I think they'll make the NCAA tournament and advance. They've been to back-to-back Elite Eights. Florida looks to me more like the real deal in 2026.
I think if you're going to win the national championship, you have to have a pretty close to an elite defense, because you got to win 6 games in a row. You can't just expect to outscore everybody for 6 straight games, especially in those late round games. So I agree with Jimmy. To me, Florida's the most talented team in the league. I wanted to say Alabama just because I think if they get all their guys there, maybe there's a higher level there. But again, they don't fit the profile that I just discussed. So give me Vanderbilt. I know I'm talking about the 2 guys who are sitting right there in front of me. Missouri's next opponent, actually. If the Tigers can take down Vanderbilt in Columbia, it would go a long way to securing an NCAA tournament bid for the Tigers. But I really like the Commodores, just their ability to play defense and offense. To me, if you're going to give me somebody other than Florida that can make a long run, I think it's Corey's squad down in Nashville.
Yeah, John. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Well, that'll be an interesting deal to see them run through the tournament, because they've been such a roller coaster up until now. But obviously, the pick with my brain is Florida. They're just elite all around in the front court, back court. They can shoot, defend, drive, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go Vanderbilt on that as well, and I'm gonna go with Mark Byington has found different ways to win in situations where he's been outmatched in the front court. He's gotten some decent production out of the bench from freshman Chandler Bing, and they've had some injuries, and they've still found ways to win, and that's and different ways to win. And in the NCAA tournament, round 1 and round 2 are going to be 2 totally different wins and ways you have to win those games. So, yeah, they're equipped to do that. So I think if there's any other team, to me, and yeah, I'm the Locked On Vandy guy, so of course I'm going to say Vandy. Yeah, okay. But I do think they are, in all seriousness, they find different ways to win, and that's a resourcefulness that you need for the NCAA tournament.
I'll throw Arkansas in there too.
Yeah.
To me, that's the 4th team. I think they've got a good shot too. One of the best offensive teams in the country. Just not quite good enough defensively for me. And I got to be honest, as great as John Calipari is, I don't trust him in March anymore. The guy's made a Final Four since 2015, had some early losses in the tournament. I know Gordy's about to tell me why I shouldn't think this, but that's just my instinct.
No, it's a great, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but and Calipari has, they wanted him out of Kentucky because he kept losing in the first round and couldn't do anything, but he seems to be rejuvenated at Arkansas. He's got that Tyson chicken money. Darius Acuff is one of the best SEC freshmen we have seen in some time. I mean, he just won SEC Freshman of the Week again for like the 5th or 6th time? Like, he's breaking records. He's doing everything. He's playing not like a freshman. He's been awesome. So, and again, Cal took this team to the Sweet 16 last year. Like, he may be rejuvenated here and say, let's go one more deep run, try to get to a Final Four. And Arkansas is talented enough to do it. So I'm with you. I got Arkansas in there. I'll put Kentucky as a sleeper because, look, Mark Pope's team, they had a little string of wins. They fell back. But this team is battle-tested. You know how many times Kentucky has fallen behind by double digits in a game this year and fought back and came back? They did it to Tennessee twice already this year, came back and won both of them. I just think some of that matters when you get into the tournament and you're down 10. They're not going to be hanging their heads. They're going to go, guys, we've been there a million times this season. Let's go lay it all out there. So just a team that could be dangerous when we're talking making a run.
Yeah, I think several SEC teams will do well in the NCAA tournament in terms of getting all the way to the Final Four. Pretty rare air there. But I like the SEC overall to get, I think Lenardi in his last 11 SEC teams in. I think many of them will win first and second round games. There'll be some good SEC representation, Sweet 16. But getting beyond that, that's some not a lot of oxygen up there.
Yeah, I think he had Mizzou, Georgia, and Auburn all just getting in. I think over these next couple of weeks, those teams may move out of the picture. But I thought that was great. I'm like, the SEC is nowhere near as good as it was a year ago, and we're going to get 11 in, the most of any conference. I don't think that's going to happen. But again, prisoner of the moment. We'll certainly see. Gents, always good to talk with you. Always fun to chop it up here on our SEC Squad show. And hey, remember to follow and subscribe to your favorite SEC show. We'll be covering your team every day throughout the football offseason. Don't forget, I'll have you covered with the entire conference every day with Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. And reminder, if you want our show ad-free, you want members-only Discord access, LockedOnPodcast.com/everydayer to join our Everydayer Club. We'll talk to you guys next week.